we go. Day 2, talking about Stefon Diggs and his presence at mandatory minicamp. We got some clarification from Sean McDermott there on what really went down on Tuesday. The fact that he was in the building, present, fulfilled what he needed to. Everyone seemed to be panicked that he did not get out on the practice field. Kyle, the face you're making right now, I really want to know, after hearing those comments from Sean McDermott, concerns about the situation still?
It's just confusion a little bit.
Still.
I think if I know Coach McDermott, and he comes on the show all the time, he probably wants to have that soundbite back about "I'm very concerned," because that really led the story. That was literally the headline. That was what made so intrigued. The head coach is saying he's really concerned. It wasn't, well, we got a player who's a little upset and work it out. The head coach is standing there saying very concerned. And then a day later, he's trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's fine. Nothing happened. He's here. We love him. We love him. Well, you know, Coach, we were concerned that you were concerned. So this is one of these things that, Lenny, you can speak to really well. Professional athletes are complicated sometimes. The relationships are complicated. Something happened behind the scenes that has nothing to do, I don't think, with football. And it had to do with Josh and Coach and the player, Steph, and he was upset and, I don't know, maybe threw a little fit or wanted to just have his pound of flesh by not being there for something. And then yesterday, I go online, and he and Josh are doing their signature handshake, and they're running around, they're tweeting each other. I think it's fine, but it's more intriguing than anything. What's your gut on it?
Like, once again, like we said yesterday, it's an in-house situation. You know, sometimes you don't let the business get outside of the facility. You know, right now, they just have to figure it out. You know, the season is closer than what you think. For them to win, they have to put whatever mess they have to the side. I know Stefon personally, he's a great guy. I love being around him. And to me, I just feel like he wants to win. You know, but at the end of the day, if someone's not happy at some place, they have to do what's best for them, for their lives, their family, and for their careers. So right now, I don't know what's going on. I'm not a part of the team, but I wish the best for everyone over there.
But you're talking broad things here. Like, he's under contract. He's getting paid a lot of money. He's like one of the most important players. We're just saying, they're mad at each other. You're saying, like, you're talking about other teams and changes and things like that. Is that something you smell in the air? I hope not.
I mean, you just never know. Because usually when there's that such of a bad stench going on, that usually what happens. You know, and I understand, you know, they're paying them this amount of money, but if you're not happy somewhere, you have to do what's best for you.
Okay.
Yeah, especially personality-wise. And I think you hear Sean McDermott talking. He's like, he was here yesterday. And you're like, well, how big is the building that Buffalo is in? Because he sounded like they couldn't find him yesterday. So it's just like, if he was there, where was he? And I think to your point, Kyle, everything McDermott said yesterday, then you follow it up. What he said now, he's back. We see the clips of practice, all of those different things. And we often say, like, a football team is a family. So we get in there, we figure it out. But a football team's not a family. To your point, Leonard, I have people in my family that I wish I could get rid of, but you're just stuck with them no matter what the circumstances are.
Dev.
Yeah, Dev included. And there's a lot more where that comes from. But within a team, if it's not working, you do find ways where guys are no longer on the team. And what we've seen transpire over the years, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, guys are deciding that they don't want to be with a team anymore, and they're forcing their way out. But Stefon Diggs is a really good football player, and Bill used to say it all the time, and I heard Von Miller say it about Stefon Diggs, is everybody's going to be treated fairly, but we're not all going to be treated the same. We watched Dennis Rodman talk about in the finals in the NBA, him having to leave the team because he needed a break. They welcomed him back with open arms because he was going to help them win a championship. Stefon Diggs may go through whatever he's going through. He's a really good football player. They know him. They know his personality. They know how he ticks in the whole nine. You welcome him back with open arms, and you go out there with one common goal to win a championship. Whether you all get along well or best friends, none of that matters. And we can all come together, work towards this common goal, put our best foot forward, and try to win a championship. That's what's most important. I think for that reason, they're going to be able to continue the season and be okay.
I find this situation very tricky because, and I kind of inched toward this yesterday, I'm going to keep inching towards it, which is, I find it a bit unfair that because Stefon Diggs is not out there telling his side and he's not the one at the podium, that he's the one being labeled like, oh, he's throwing a hissy fit. Oh, he's the one that's causing problems and he's not showing up. And just because Josh Allen is the one who's out there at all the charity events and then People magazine and going out on the podium and saying, I love you, Steph, I love you, Steph, that somehow Stefon Diggs is the one with the actual problem. This could be a mutual issue, and just because your quarterback is the one that can go out and preach adoration for the wide receiver, that means that Josh Allen's off the hook. I just really caution everybody from being like, man, Stefon, he didn't show up. He may have had an issue with somebody and taken the high road in this circumstance and been like, I don't think it's best for anybody if I go out there. So I'm going to take one for this team in this moment. Yet, because he's not the one telling his side of the story, everyone's jumping on his case. And all because of one video of him being passionate on the sideline in a playoff game in January. Now he's like the high-maintenance emotional one. I really, really caution against that, I think, because years from now, we might find out crazy things about Josh Allen or Sean McDermott and be like, well, wow, remember when Stefon Diggs was doing X, Y, and Z? Makes a little bit more sense now.
It does, and if you just Google Stefon Diggs, you should see all the results. It's like trade destinations for Stefon Diggs.
Right.
Baltimore Ravens should go all in and get Diggs. The obligatory Cowboys trade destinations for Stefon Diggs. This one says Diggs repeating behavior that preceded his trade from the Vikings. Like, it's all trade. Now, this is where Peter would come in and say, it's not impossible, but it would be highly, highly difficult for the Bills to trade him just contractually. He has a massive contract. They would take a huge hit. If the sky falls and the Bills trade Stefon Diggs, that would be like, we need to get him out of here now because this is going to be hugely punitive for us, not to say the least of which he's one of the top 3 players on their entire team. I hope this doesn't happen. Are you a little concerned, Lenny? Are you concerned that Stefon Diggs is not going to play for the Bills anymore? I hope not. Nah,
I'm picking back on Jamie said about being passionate.
Okay.
You know, I played with a guy that's passionate, Tom Brady, and he has his moments on the sideline, and when he does it, it's compared different. When Stefon did it, they take it out of proportion. I mean, who wouldn't want to play with a guy that has passion, that loves the game, who wants to win? So I totally understand him, Steph, because I'm the same way. When things not going my way, it's frustrating. I mean, you work your tail off each and every day, each and every week, and for you maybe not get the passes you want. So I totally understand you.